welcome back to a brand new episode of the Who What Now Gaming Podcast, the podcast for consumers by consumers, where we ask the questions, who are you, what got you into gaming, and what type of gamer are you now? I am your humble host, Josh Stewart, and today we have an absolute treat of a guest, and I am so excited for this. Cosplaying mixed with Twitch streaming, content creating all over the place, and an absolute joy to have here on the show today. Please help me welcome Cosplayletsplay. How are you today?
Hello, it's Memento. Hello. I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Great. I'm super excited for this episode. We've talked a couple of times, and each time I feel like honestly it just gets better and better and better, and I'm so stoked to have this conversation today.
I absolutely agree.
This is going to be so fun. So I think the best way to start this episode is let everybody know what you're about. Who are you? Who is Cosplay Let's Play?
All right, so I did like zero preparation because if I prepared myself, I was going to probably freak out and get stressed more.
Hey, that's good. I wing it 99% of the time anyway.
So, hello, I'm Cosplay Let's Play, or I go by Memento whenever I'm online because I've been going by the name Memento for so long at this point that it's like a part of me and I cannot leave it. And I am a semi-variety streamer who cosplays from everything that I stream and also cosplays when I upload on YouTube. And today I'm dressed up as Memcho, who is a character who I really vibe with because, and slight spoilers, she's one, older than she says she is, which same. And two, she started kind of late on the whole like internet personality. And I even have a little baby Mem with me today. But I did not get my name from Memcho. Memento came before Memcho. Cannot express that enough.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it so much. One of the things that I really wanted to get into was the cosplay aspect of everything, and it's super awesome, and honestly it's very unique that you have brought it to streaming, and I think it adds such a level of fun to each of your streams that I personally have so much enjoyed, and the level of detail that you go into it. You were playing Dead by Daylight, and you had the whole the cuts and it was great. I loved it.
My Michaela wig that's been living by me right now.
Yeah, it was amazing. How did you initially get into the cosplay world?
So I initially got into it way back in 2008. I heard about a convention called Otakon, and Otakon was semi-local to me. Like, it was a bit of a drive, but it was something that we could do in a day. And me and a couple of my friends went up for the day, and I was like, I want to cosplay. So I threw together this terrible, at the time, I say that now, but I loved it at the time, I guess from Persona 3, which is also where I got my name from, but I can tell you that story later. I threw together this, I guess, cosplay. My mom made me this beautiful armband for it. I DIY'd the little like school emblem for and then I wore like a whole jacket and skirt. Like, it was a lot of thrifted stuff, a couple things handmade. I still have the headphone props that I made. And after that, I was just like, all right, well, I'm in it now.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, and you haven't looked back?
No, I haven't stopped cosplaying since. It's a problem. My wallet is suffering. Please send help.
Isn't that like that's the curse of like having such an amazing passion towards something, is that like you like there's the whole the saying we live to work and work to live kind of thing, and I say it's wrong. We work so that we can play, and then we play so much that we have to go back to work. I'm pretty sure that at least that's how I've been living my life.
God, coming off summer vacation and going back, I'm like, oh, that's right. There's reality there.
Yeah, all that extra sweet free time
Mm-hmm.
starts to kind of go away, and you start to count
Oh,
down
I
till
I need the
summer again.
paychecks.
I
Oh
know.
my gosh. I looked at my coworker on our first day back and I was like, "Hey, how would you feel about a countdown to summer on day 1?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm about it, please."
Yeah. Yeah, I was that student all the time. Day
As a
one, I was like, "Are
student,
we?" Yeah, I was like, "Day one, are we done yet?" Like,
yeah. As a student, I love school. I really
yep.
enjoyed school. I had a weird schooling experience though. So, but like as a teacher, I'm just like, "Hey, I love my kiddos, but I really like summer vacation."
Yeah, yeah. I struggled a lot in school, so
Mm.
it was a big thing for me to find. I got really into, you know, like animes,
Mm-hmm.
video games. You know, I was a big like comic book kid,
Okay.
and it was fun because it was kind of interesting. I think there's a biker show that's driving past my house right now. Fantastic. There is so
If it helps, I
many.
can't hear it.
Oh well, then I'm just talking nonsense. Oh well, that's embarrassing. I was that kid though that I was ashamed of my nerdy side, so I wouldn't express it as much,
Hmm.
and so there was like my small, you know, tight group of friends that knew me,
Yeah.
and then there was like the public who would like know me. And so I it wasn't until like much later in my life, probably when I was somewhere in my like early 20s, when I finally decided, oh no, like I'm just going to be happy and love the things that I love, and
Hmm.
that's going to be me and my personality. And that was like the happiest thing for me,
Oh
cuz it
yeah.
was, you know, but in school it was like all I wanted to do was, you know, get out of school and
Hmm.
go follow my interests, and that was,
Yeah.
so I probably could have done better, but I don't know, you know.
See, I should have known shame, but I didn't know shame. So I was taking manga to school, and you know how like manga has nudity in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, people found that. I never really noticed it. I didn't give two shits about it. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever, it's like a silhouette. Who cares? Yeah, they care in 8th grade. Um,
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, I wished that I would have allowed myself to experience that side of my nerdy self
mm-hmm,
earlier. I think I would have
mm-hmm.
had a lot more fun with
I get
things
it.
instead of pretending that it wasn't my interest.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, like the last like 10 years of my life, I've been just, you know, consuming all and everything because I was like, I forced myself to miss out on all of these things, you know.
Yeah, actually,
But
funnily enough, that's how I feel about streaming. Is I have always had an interest, and I would kind of like start it and then last for a couple streams, not really get anywhere because I didn't know what I was doing, and then fall off. And I wish I'd tried to understand it sooner because I could have been doing this like 5, 10 years ago.
absolutely, I think the same thing, and
Yeah.
I've had that conversation before where when I first heard about streaming,
Mm-hmm.
it was a weird concept for me.
Mm-hmm.
I it was difficult to accept that I would sit down and watch somebody play a game, whereas
Yeah.
I could have just played the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't until like maybe last year, what was it, 2020, when I started really getting into watching streams, and
Yeah.
I started realizing, I was like, oh, this actually, there's a whole different element to it that I
Mm-hmm.
think those who don't watch streams don't understand, because you're not watching, I mean, yes, you're watching the stream for the
Yeah.
gameplay and stuff, but it's so much more than that. You're
It's a
watching it
community.
for, exactly, you're
Mm-hmm.
in there, you're interacting with the community, you're talking with like the host of that stream,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting to know them a lot more. And it's so much more. Uh, it's more fun than
Yeah.
I initially kind of expected it to be. All right, camera, come on, bring it back here.
My
Oh my
camera's
goodness.
behaving right now, and it's a minor miracle. I
Hmm.
think it's because I am holding dead still. I am not moving. I am like, autofocus, you will not betray me right now. I am a statue.
Mm. See, I've been thinking about getting that camera that just tracks your head movement because
Ah.
I move way
Yeah.
too much.
When I stream, I move a lot.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed is if I'm in like, because I'm in the corner of my stream, so it's
Mm-hmm.
not that big a deal if I have a blurry moment. It's when I'm on like my big face, and that is truly what the scene is called. It's called big face.
Yeah.
If I'm on big face, I must be a statue because it's so obvious when my camera freaks out at me.
Yes. And that's actually a good jumping off point because I really wanted to get into during one of my personal streams.
Mhm.
We were actually talking about your stream,
Oh gosh.
and yeah, and well, it was all positive, I promise. And so
I
a
don't know.
few
You
of
could say some negative stuff. That's fine.
not a chance, not happening.
Bully me. Do it. I
um,
dare you.
we we had a few members of our community jump over and check out your stream, and it was really awesome to hear that like each one of them came back, it was like number one thing that was always popping up was that everyone loves your setup.
Oh,
You're the whole the way everything is so organized, and it's like
that
you have the
is.
screen, the the overlays, and then you're right there at the top, and it's so perfect and like well organized, and then the like how you present yourself with your community and the stream, the cosplay aspects, and it was like all these things were coming back, and I was like, do you guys like my stream? It's like
No, stop.
I was like, yeah, it is really cool, but I'm over here like, oh yeah, tell me what else, and I'm like taking notes in the
No,
background.
stop. It's cobbled together. I swear. You say it's organized, but I mean, looking at my desk in front of me, there's a proverbial nightmare happening of like trash that needs to get cleaned up. But shh.
Yeah, I'm
No,
looking
I
at a bunch
finished
of
a
it
bag of.
right now.
I legit finished a bag of chips last night, so like, there's a bag of chips there. It's not that dirty. It's more like cluttered because, like, I'll have okay. So I'm playing Spiritfarer currently. I can't even hold the whole thing up, but so my Spiritfarer prop is in front of
Mm-hmm.
me. I accidentally wore my headband for makeup in this room, so now it lives here. Or like one of my best friends gave me these, and I don't know why they're still sitting on my desk. They should be in my bed. They're very
Aw,
cute though.
they are very cute.
So I have like proverbial clutter everywhere. No, but those are I bought that overlay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did not custom make that overlay. The one I'm using right now, I did custom set up because I wanted it to be I found I need to work on my other one because I used to use this purple themed overlay, and I found that it was a little too much on the side and underneath. I wanted the game a little
Mm,
bit bigger.
yeah.
So when I switched over to the one I use for spring and summer, I kind of customized it because you get all of the assets. And then I went into Stream Elements and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but if I fuck around, eventually it's gonna work.
100%. That is exactly how I've done
Yeah.
anything with my stream, and
Hmm.
it's it's been a lot easier than I was
Yeah.
expecting, but there's definitely a lot of elements that I'm completely new to and unfamiliar with.
I
So
totally get that. Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing at first. I was glad my first overlay, I used the base overlay and didn't edit anything because I don't think I could have done that back then. Now, when I did my current one, I was like, okay, I can make some changes. I can make the screen a little bit bigger. I can
hmm
add, now I have a little bar over top that says what game I'm playing. And I use
Yeah.
that when I do YouTube as well.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Thank you.
I love it a lot. It's definitely something that I need to I'm gonna be taking some ideas. I'll tell you what.
I look, I can give you any. There's ways that you can make your own overlay in Canva, which is really cool. Or
Ooh,
I went through Etsy and bought overlays via Etsy because I was like, I don't know, I want something spooky, I want something cute, I want it to have
yeah,
cats. So yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So has that always been like the spooky and the cat theme always been your theme since the very beginning from when you started streaming?
Actually, when I first started, I used one of Stream Elements' free overlays.
Nice.
So they had this cute little springtime one, and I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna try using that. And like some of my oldest clips use that overlay. I didn't use it for very long. Um,
Fantastic.
I think it was either shortly before or I probably changed it in October. I started looking around and found this Etsy store that had really cute cat emotes, which I got in touch with them because I'm hoping I can get some custom ones of my cat because I love how they do
Nice.
their cat emotes, and I'm like, what if I could have Nadia as an emote?
That's awesome.
So yeah, I just shopped around Etsy. I really want to commission some new stuff, so I've been looking at VGen. That's what everyone's been recommending to me. And like I would love one of my friends drew the icon that I use on for like my little personal icon, which is actually me dressed as Memcho. I really went deep into my love of Memcho. I have a little collection.
That's awesome. How is the collection that you've accumulated? Like, is it still growing? Have you reached a point where you've decided like, well, maybe I'm gonna like hold back now that I don't have room anymore? Because that is a hundred
Oh,
percent where I'm at.
no, it's still growing. It's still
That's
growing.
good.
I have
I
no self control.
Yay, me neither.
Actually, I wish I could show it, but I fear picking up my camera. In front of me is an entire wall full of. I was super obsessed with Genshin Impact. It's very funny. I don't play Genshin Impact anymore, but I still have a lot of love for the characters in the game. So I have this huge amount of Genshin stuff. Over there is a wall dedicated to Honkai Star Rail and Blade because he has my heart and soul. I love that depressed man. Uh, I have a shelf that is just angsty blonde characters
Love
and a
it.
shelf that is just Memcho. And I have like my horror stuff underneath because I have a Ghostface mask. I have some art of Ghostface because I love him. He is
Nice.
everything to me.
Yeah.
It's a little toxic. It's fine. We're okay with it.
Yeah. That's all. It's all good.
But
I
yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Nope. You're fine. It's the ADHD. It just fires off ideas
I
sometimes.
understand. No, but when I created the space, as much as I wanted you guys to have something to look at back there and
Mm-hmm.
like have something that felt fitting that the audience is seeing, I also wanted a space where when I look up, I'm surrounded by like things that bring me joy, things that bring me happiness, and it made this room feel very cozy to me, even though no one is seeing it but me.
100%. And I'm so happy that you said that because I believe that you and I think a lot alike.
Yeah.
I have I have like all of my board games
Mm-hmm.
that sit out, in at the bottom of the shelf that I keep like the
Mm-hmm.
television on. And then I have a big shelf, or I have two shelves behind me. I'm a big D&D lover, and so we've had some custom made dice
Ooh,
towers made by some friends
that's so cool.
before, and so I have all those like
Yeah.
up on a shelf at the top, and then I have just some like nerdy little things that I've collected over
Mm-hmm.
time on that one. But then what I see, what the camera doesn't see, is basically all the like collectible things that I have
Yeah.
that I've refused to like take out of the box because
Mm-hmm.
for some reason in my brain I think, oh, they'll just get better over time, but it's just I've never taken things out of the box. So like I I have like the Funko Pops, and
Yeah.
I have like 2 like Lord of the Rings like action figures from when I
Oh,
was, I don't know,
nice.
like 8 or something, and they've
Mm-hmm.
never been out of the box. And
Yeah.
that was like one of those things where I was like, I'm investing in my future. These will be
Mm-hmm.
worth
Mm-hmm.
so much. And then I look them up every so often. They're like, yeah, they're like $20. I'm like, oh my god, like
Yes, my future.
not yeah, my future is based off of a sandwich and a coffee. Like, great, thank
Oh,
you.
look, I get it. Sometimes I debate leaving things in boxes, but then I'm like, I'm here to spark my own joy. But I've
Yeah.
left a couple things in boxes, and like some things I keep them as collectibles still to this day because I'm like, this might actually be worth money. I was a big Speed Racer fan growing up.
Ooh, nice.
I have some very like interesting Speed Racer stuff that probably is worth a little bit, and my Junji Ito collection is probably worth a little bit of money at this point because I have some books that I don't think you can really get anymore.
That's awesome. Yeah, the only thing I know that I had that had some worth to it was weirdly the one thing that I gave away when I was in like, I don't know, ninth grade, maybe
Oh
8th or
no.
ninth grade. Yeah, I had a whole huge collection of Pokemon cards, all in their sleeves and
Oh.
everything. And now that's a huge thing where they're
Yeah.
going for multiples of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars, and I just gave mine away. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's like
Yeah. I
I
still have
don't.
my old Pokemon cards. I really would just like to
Oh,
figure out
there
what
you
to do
go.
with them. I have a holographic Charizard, but I can't bring myself to ever give that away because I got that shit out of a booster pack, and that was the single greatest Easter of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that I've learned is if you still have them,
Yeah.
like have somebody who knows cards,
Mm-hmm.
like check them out and rate them
Yeah.
and stuff, because some of those have like some real value to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely something, even if like it's never something that you'll ever get rid of, it is kind
Yeah.
of fun to know like something that you collected
Mm-hmm.
years ago is now like a huge ticket item, you know?
Right? Granted, I don't even know how much money we spent on those because I was obsessed as a child. I don't like things in a chill way. I
Yeah.
only go like ham over shit. Like, I mean, I've been fortunate that I haven't had to spend a ton of money on my equipment for stream,
Yeah.
but like I have things that are nice. People have been nice and they've donated, and I've also saved up, and like the computer I don't really count as buying it for stream because
Yeah.
I wanted a PC anyway. This was a gift to myself when I passed my praxis exam, and like the headphones that I originally used were from my parents. So like it's been a lot of stuff in the works over time. Shout out the headphones that I'm so sad I can't use anymore. Wait. If you heard that, no, you didn't. There was a lot of junk in there. These were my original headphones.
Oh, yeah.
I can't throw them out. They mean too much to me,
Yeah.
and they just
What?
don't work.
Oh, they just don't work? Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
take I'm gonna take them to my friend who I bought all my computers from the same person. He's a
Mm-hmm.
family friend. He did our internet back when we had like this ancient internet provider, and I buy all my tech, all my both my laptops and my PC, and any work that I've ever had done is done by him. So I might just be like, "Hey, can you fix my headphones? Even though these are so much better, I
Yeah.
want these for sometimes."
Mm, I love it.
They're
That's
sentimental.
I want to get like some kind of like really cool custom headphones. I think it'd
Mm-hmm.
be really nice. Maybe I don't know, customize these ones.
I
Maybe
told
add
you.
some stuff to them.
I know we talked about it.
Yeah, you
Customization can be
gave
so easy.
yeah, you gave some really cool advice to be able to customize my stuff.
I don't
And
know where my
I've been
thing is
thinking
to
a lot
demonstrate.
about doing it.
Oh,
Now I just got to figure out what I want to do with them, you know?
yeah. Yeah. Easiest thing I
Hey.
ever did.
And what's the key to that? What'd you put
Oh,
on there? Is it just Velcro?
yeah. In theory, I should have done black, but I don't think I had black sticky Velcro. This is just
Mm-hmm.
stuck on, and I think Yeah, it's on the plastic part, so it won't rip up this like weird whatever it is that I can't think
Right.
of the name of right now because
Yeah, that weird
uh
thin fabricy plastic stuff.
yeah, I didn't want to mess them up. And then this just has Velcro on either side. It's literally a piece of felt with a bunch of like it doesn't even look that nice from that angle, but when I put it on, ta-da,
Just
that one's
easy as
falling
that.
a
Just
little.
Velcros right onto it.
Yeah. And if I want to change it out, done.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I only have the one right now, but I do actually want to make some more because I think it would be really nice. And part of the idea I got was one night I was cosplaying Michaela.
Mm-hmm.
God, she lives with me. And I was like, "Oh, this headband looks so cute." And then I had the sad realization that I couldn't wear a headband because I was going to have these on, and I was like,
Right.
"Oh." And then when I went to go do my artist cosplay, my artist like bunny suit, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, what if I also made a headpiece? Because I didn't think, especially how I sit, I didn't think having these, because these sit about here. The
Right.
second one is somewhere. These sit about here, and you can't really see. Sometimes my camera cuts off about here. So
Mm-hmm.
you weren't going to be seeing very much of them. And I wanted something else in that dark red and black theme to like tie her in to set me apart. Despite the fact that I'm also covered in like black streaks of makeup. Like this was a very distinctive cosplay. I did not need to make a headband, but I was like, I got time.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Why
So
not do
it's always
more?
yeah, of course. Um so where did the inspiration come to, creating the the full outfits, whether it be for stream or for, going to like a convention or so? Like where's the talent come from?
Spite.
Spite?
I am 100% fueled by spite.
Yeah.
Uh, no, it's just whatever catches my eye. Sometimes that can be something as small as. Usually it's because I like the character, although I have had exceptions. Like when I cosplayed A2, I didn't know shit about Nier Automata,
Mm-hmm.
but uh, a friend wanted to do 2B and was like, hey, Mem, you should do A2 with me. And I was like, bet. So sometimes it's that, and that was a fun project because I got to hand embroider, but in the fake method because I was not learning real embroidery. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a tangential idea where I'm like, I did this bathing suit inspired by Futaba Sakura, her Oracle outfit. So I bought a pre-made bathing suit that I cut up and then sewed on the green like patterning and did
Okay.
that. And sometimes it's just, I have like 5 days of free time before this convention. I'm going to make something for funsies. That's how Memcho came about. I was
Yeah.
going to Otakon and I was like, well, what if I made another cosplay in 5 days?
Wow, 5 days.
I did not spend long making this. And
That's a,
everything is handmade.
that is so wow. That I think that's the most impressive part.
Thank you.
There's a lot of things like I don't know, I wouldn't consider it like cosplay or so because I don't make anything.
It's still cosplay.
But when I do love going to the Ren Fair, and
Mm-hmm.
so I have like a Viking like setup, and but I also I learned this past year that I am a kilt person, and
Ooh,
I love
I
my
can see
kilt.
that.
I love it so much. I wish that I could wear
Because
it more.
skirts, I know a kilt is not like a skirt, but
Mm-hmm.
bear with me. Skirts are supreme. They are comfy, they are airy, they are allowing you to have ventilation. No,
It's
skirts and
so
dresses are
nice.
all I wear. I don't wear pants.
Yeah, I've actually like had the thought of where I'm just like might get some like utility kilts,
Yeah.
some with like pockets or something,
Oh,
just because like they're
mhm.
so comfortable.
Yes.
And anyone who disagrees, No,
is wrong.
you're 100% wrong.
Yeah.
They put a kilt on and then come talk to me.
Yeah.
They're so amazing.
I've never actually worn a kilt, but I can only assume because I wear skirts and dresses 100% of the time. Like, if I wear pants at all.
Yeah, I don't wear skirts, but I would assume they probably feel the same. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm there with you. Yeah.
Yeah, they're comfy. They're easy. I'm telling you, it's the future.
Oh my, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be
Mm-hmm.
awesome if we could I want to normalize just wearing kilts just so I can
Yeah.
wear kilts all the time. Or I'll just start wearing kilts.
Just start doing it.
Who's going to stop me? I'm wearing a kilt.
Exactly.
Come on. I'll tell you. So I did want to say that you were the deciding factor on whether or not I was going to be playing a certain game, and I want to thank you because I am loving this game so much. I have heard multiple people who are telling me to play like Dead by Daylight, and I'm like, you know what, it's not a game for me, you know, is what it is kind of
That's
thing.
how
And
I
then
felt.
I started watching some of your like old streams. I was able to
Mm-hmm.
catch you live the one day, and I was like, okay, you know what, this actually looks way more fun than I was anticipating. So I went back to the list of like games that have been recommended to me, and I was like, yep, there it is, it's right on the list. So
Heck yeah.
I went over, I downloaded it, and I can't stop. It's so fun. I am so bad at it,
Oh,
but
so
it
am I.
is
Don't worry.
so good. I do
Well,
way better as the killer than I do surviving.
okay.
It's I don't know why. Maybe there's just less pressure, but it's weird to like. I feel very hunted down, which I know is like the point of the game, but like it seems like everyone else's skill level is so much higher than mine, so I'm the easy picking target. So like
Mm,
I also didn't realize that there are certain perks that will allow you know, the killer to know where I have gone.
yeah.
So like I'll run away and then I'll immediately go and hide in like a cabinet, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's like there's like 30 cabinets in here,
Oh
and
gosh.
you happen to know exactly which one mine is,
Yeah.
and then somebody was like, oh no, they can see you. I was like, great, thank you.
Well, if you ever would like some tips and tricks for Dead by Daylight, I would be happy to play with you sometime and try to help out. I'm still
Yes,
pretty new
please.
to it. This is going to sound wild. I just hit 500 hours. I am still considered a newbie.
What?
Yeah.
I'm what?
Yeah.
Um,
500 is where I might get like intermediate status. I'm not positive, but I think 2000 is about where they start actually respecting you.
what?
Dead by Daylight's built different. When I tell
Yeah,
you this
that
game
was
is built
clear.
hella different. But it's funny that you said you find less pressure as the killer because I actually get stressed when I play the killer.
Oh no, I'm super laid back. I don't know. Maybe I'm a
Oh.
psycho. I don't know.
No, I think that's perfectly valid. I think one of the things for me is the killer has control over how the game is going to go.
Yep.
So, as killer, I get to decide, do I want it to be a fun casual game? Do I want it to be a sweaty game? Or do I want it to be a normal game? Or do I want to like farm essentially and see if
Mm.
we can all get blood points? I can double hook every survivor. They can do all the stuff they want to do. And like I find it stressful to try and decide what I'm going to do and also to try to play in a way that people won't deem toxic.
Interesting. I didn't know any of that. let me let me tell you how I
Well,
played
you
this game.
said you just started, so I do not expect you to know this stuff. I might be the one who went a little wild because I watch a lot of YouTube content for Dead by Daylight, and that's how I learned to play.
That was actually a big suggestion that was thrown my way. I go in and I try to win.
That's fair.
I don't have like I didn't know about blood points, so that's definitely something I'm going to need to figure out. But or double hooking people. My biggest thing is still trying to get the timing down when I like finally get behind somebody and like trying to, or like when I do finally get the hit, And then like obviously like you get super slowed down for
Oh,
like a
yeah.
hot minute, and so then I'm trying to figure out everybody's patterns and stuff, and then of
Mm-hmm.
course I'm streaming it, and so we've got people watching this, and somebody made me look like an absolute
Oh,
fool, and it like everybody in chat's like, stop, just go away, like
no.
you're not
Mm-hmm.
making yourself look good. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna get him. And then we just kept doing this run around the table through the window thing,
Yeah.
and I'm just wasting time trying to get him, and it was everybody's like, oh, he got you, and I'm like, what do you you got me, I'm supposed to get hit, what are you talking about? Like, I'm so it was, but I'm
Well,
so awful at the game, but I'm truly having a blast
yeah.
playing it. Like, I love this game.
One
It's
of the
so good.
things that they say, and the reason I think your chat was like, oh, he got you, is so in those cases, you've committed so hard to trying to get that one survivor that they're able to get all the generators done before
Yeah.
you're getting them. So, what I tend to do when I'm playing killer, which isn't as often as I used to, if I have someone that's really looping me and like I'm not able to get it, sometimes I do overcommit because sometimes I just want the satisfaction of getting them.
Yes. That
Sometimes
was
I
it.
drop chase. Yeah. And it kind of depends on what kind of game I want. If I am content with the fact that this entire team is going to win because I overcommitted, I will overcommit. If I actually want to win the game, I will drop chase at the first chance I get to go after someone else and be
Mm.
like, I'm not sticking with this. I'm not falling for your plan. Who do you play as, though, in Dead by Daylight?
So my very first after my very first game, I realized that I'm really liking this, and so yeah, there you go. I was like, well, I definitely like this. I'm definitely going to keep playing it. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel bad just like immediately. Like I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons like fan.
Mm,
So immediately I went for Vecna.
that's fair.
And I really like the Vecna
Yeah.
mechanics. I really like having Mage Hand to
Oh, the
pull
spells.
having the spells so I can like send the skulls out
Mm-hmm.
in case like they're too far away. I have they're outrunning me,
Yeah.
or I have the Mage Hand to keep the pallets up, so I
Mm-hmm.
can just kind of throw through there. And especially if there's a couple people who are like really like running me through loops and stuff,
Yeah.
I can cast Fly and just kind of like really jump ahead and get to where I'm trying to
Yeah.
go. So I really like those mechanics. And then before I was playing Vecna, though, I was playing one of the characters that
Yeah.
the game essentially comes with, the Huntress,
Ah,
and I love it.
mother.
It's
Mother.
so good, and
Yeah.
I love just having the like, also kind of just scary as hell, but like you just have the bunny mask and
Oh, yeah.
the throwing the axes and stuff. It's do you have are you about to blow my mind again?
It's not finished. I haven't started yet, but this is in the works.
Yes.
Mother is
Oh,
coming.
it's gonna be so good.
I cannot play Huntress worth two shits, but she's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, I'm not super great at it, but I do really enjoy, playing
Mm-hmm.
as her, and then the only other character that I've, really, taken some time to like kind of understand mechanics and stuff, was the Demogorgon.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I also really like Stranger Things. So it was like
Fair.
I figured, if I was going to get into the game, I wanted to learn the game with
Mm-hmm.
characters that I'm very familiar with and that I
Yeah.
love. And so like being able to play
Mm-hmm.
those was really really fun. And then it took me a little while to realize that the survivors are not they're not just random default skins.
Oh,
So that,
yeah.
and I was like, oh well, I didn't know that you also had to upgrade those characters too. So I
Mm-hmm.
blew all 400,000 points that you start the game with like on one character, and I was like,
Oh,
oh
well,
well,
that's
all
not a
right.
bad thing.
Well, it was all on the killer, so I have
Mm.
nothing for my
Mm-hmm.
survival characters, and so
Yeah.
but I do like, I want to get Ash,
Oh, yeah.
and then there's I do have the elf characters for the
Mm-hmm.
because I bought the D&D pack, and then I do want to get, some of the other characters just look really fun to play, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize that all of them have their own
Oh,
quirks
yeah.
to them.
Yeah.
So I definitely have a lot to learn about this game, but I definitely can see why it's a very
Yeah.
fun, enjoyable, fan-filled game. It is
Yeah.
very cool.
One of the biggest things that helped me when I first started, because I think I've had people forget that I'm still considered a newbie
Mm-hmm.
because I have knowledge. I might not be very good at it, but I have technical knowledge that
Yeah.
goes past what I should have. And that has been through watching YouTubers talk about the game and like I can read through, which this is ironic. I'm not very good with audio processing when it comes to like instructions,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes to reading through how killers and survivors work in like their different powers and perks, it's so much easier for me to watch a video that's going to give me uh explanation and example.
Of
So
course.
I really need to look at how the Castlevania chapter is working because I have yet to touch that and I really need to. Maybe I'll bug my community tonight and be like, who wants to hang out on the PTB with me and cry every time we die?
Yeah. It is really fun, but
Yeah.
I noticed that you also bring in those from your community to play
Mhm.
the game with you.
Yes.
How's that been going? How's that experience going? It's something
I
I was
love it.
very curious about.
I love it. I think my community finds it funny because I refuse to do anything. I think I'm old. Uh,
What?
I think I
Get
think
out of
in
here.
here I'm old.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, I'm definitely
I
an old soul. Yeah.
I know there's a bot that I could set up that would do cues for me. I do all my cues by hand.
Hey, there you go.
So the last time on 8/18, it was my final stream of the summer, and I always have my open lobbies, and that's literally the open lobbies list.
Nice.
So I people put it in chat, I write their names down on a list, I keep track of it. I shun when people in my community are like, I accidentally unfriended you. I'm so sorry. How do I refriend you? And I'm like, no, you don't get shit now. Just kidding. Here's my name.
That's
My
awesome.
community bullies me and I bully them right back. It's a mutually destructive mechanism.
Yep, mine does that quite often. Yeah. It's
Um
it's always out of love though,
oh
you
yeah.
know.
No. I adore the people who have chosen to join me on this journey and I continue to be very grateful that they do join me on this journey. And
Mhm.
I make it a point to at least once a week play offline because I find doing comms with a bunch of people very stressful. Because
Yeah.
I have to balance your Discord audio and someone is always going to be loud and I'm like
Yeah.
sound quality please. So
Yeah.
I do closed comms whenever I'm doing open lobbies with a few exceptions like my mod One Up Till Sun Up. He's another streamer. Shout out One Up. uh
Yes. Big shout out.
I yes.
Soon to be.
Yes. I will let him if he happens to be available, I will let him be on comms because he's a person who I've played with a lot. I do a lot of collaboration with, so I understand how to balance his audio when it
Mhm.
comes to him versus me. And chat will also let me know if I mess up on that. But I try to make sure I play once a week in the community because I do want to chat with everyone. I do want to be on comms. I do want to do my silly little games.
Of
And
course.
it's fun getting to talk with people, get to know people, and get to know them outside the idea of streamer versus community. Like, yes, I can't figure out quite how I want this to sound, so
Mhm.
forgive me. Yes, there is this like there is the streamer and their community, and like
Sure.
hierarchy isn't quite the right word, but there is that parasocial aspect, I guess. But also, I'm a small enough streamer where I can take the time to get to know my community and spend time with them and hear. Like in my Discord, I have a whole section called bragging rights where you can just be like, I did this. this is something I accomplished. And I put stuff in there too because I'm like, yo, if I got something to say, I'm a brag right along with you guys. We
Yeah,
should be
absolutely.
celebrating those wins.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the like the way that there's in my community there's like my in real life friends.
Yes,
And
those
then
two.
there are those who very, very frequently, if not
Mm-hmm.
catch every single stream.
Yeah.
And then there's like, those who, pop in every so
Mm-hmm.
often here and there. I'm still trying to, get to know them
Yeah.
more. And then there's like brand new to the stream and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I definitely always try to communicate with everyone in my stream, like
Mm-hmm.
always. Every so often I will miss like a comment or something,
Mm-hmm.
but
Oh yeah.
I have two super amazing mods who will
Heck
always
yeah.
like let me know, or
Mm-hmm.
they'll like refresh it or something so I can like kind of see it, or a lot of times it'll be like, hey, this was said, you missed it, like heads up kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone keeps me pretty well on track. But that
Yeah.
being said, I also have to give a wonderful shout out to Fat Viking and Silly Frog, because those two keep everything
Yeah.
when it comes to the stream like working. Like
Oh yeah.
the first things I get are okay, sound quality's good, picture's good,
Oh.
you're not laggy or anything. But
Mm-hmm.
mainly when I switch subjects and I go from just chatting to the game, they're like, hey, change your label. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
right. And they're
Yes, because
constantly
that
like
label won't
fixing these
change right
things.
away. It's so
Nope.
frustrating.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, and because I stream I stream through a graphics card thing or
Oh.
whatever
Yeah.
into my laptop, and
Yeah.
so I go right from the PS5, so I
Okay.
have to do all of that manually. And what's been nice is that I have one mod who is a really good friend, like personal
Mm-hmm.
friend of mine, and so I had to upgrade the privileges like to the max, because I'm like, I constantly forget. And
Yeah.
so now it's gotten to the point where it's like he'll just do it for me, and
Mm-hmm.
then when I remember like an hour into stream, and then he's like, don't worry, I took care of it 45 minutes ago, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
well, thank God. Like,
Yeah. I was gonna say,
it's
no,
nice.
my look, my mods are working overtime having my dumb ass, so because my very first mod is my friend Nine Link, who is like one of my closest friends IRL.
Yeah,
And when I first started streaming, he just sat in my streams and I gave him mod just because I was like, yo, if something goes wrong, can you help me out if you're here? And
right.
he's like, yo, bet. Like, yeah. And that man sat in my streams and let me talk to him and game with him because I didn't know what I was doing. I was playing Genshin Impact and it was weird just talking to no one. I can talk to myself for hours.
Yeah,
However, you're supposed to be filtered online, and when I'm talking to myself in my household, I am a little less filtered.
yeah.
And then
I
One Up, I asked One Up to be a mod because I knew him as well IRL. He was at my
mm-hmm.
streams, and I was like, "Bro, you want a mod? Like you don't have to do anything. Just I might ask you a question every so often." And then Johnny is my newest mod, and he comes sometimes. I told him he never had to show up. He was never required to do anything. But if he's
Yeah,
there, I might ask him to like do a shout out or ban a bot. And he was like, bet.
yeah, 100%. I have two mods, and they
Mm-hmm.
are beyond amazing.
Yeah.
Um, and it's really nice to be able to know that, like, when I'm not paying attention,
Mm-hmm.
things are always in good hands.
Yeah.
I've never had to worry about trying to pause what I'm doing so that I could like ban a bot,
Mm-hmm.
or to get something out, or some like random advertisement message or something. Like, it's always taken care of. It's 99% of the time it happens so fast that when I
Mm-hmm.
look at chat, I'm like, what the hell happened? Because I'm just seeing deleted messages,
Yeah.
like I'm assuming something happened. So good on you, thank you for taking care
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. Uh, Now, granted, every time a bot gets banned, I cry about it. I'm like, no, why would you ban them? I want cheap viewers, please.
I know. I get the one that randomly pops up. It's like, oh, cheap views at this website or
Hmm.
something, and or no, it's, the best viewers are on this, link or whatever, and I go, I'm going to disagree with you. The best viewers are here in this stream, and I would appreciate it if you would also drop a follow.
I don't know. Maybe next time I should shade my community and be like, wow, I can get better viewers.
Yeah.
Bye,
What is
guys.
this?
Nah, I genuinely, we did something at my 1 year streaming anniversary where I had this little command that would come up every, I think, 30 minutes where I was like, hey, if you cheer 100 bits or you sub, because some people don't want to buy bits. I personally have
Mm-hmm.
never bought bits,
Right.
and would rather spend more money to sub to someone if I was doing this than cheer. I was like, I will say either here publicly on stream something sappy about you, or I will write you a private message of something sappy about you. Because I knew that there was going to be a lot of longtime viewers. I also made a video that I spent the entire first 5 minutes of stream like this because I
Yep.
couldn't bear to watch the fucking video I made. Just trying to say, like, what I'd accomplished in a year and then end it with like a thank you to the people who had joined me on this journey because I was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
What a
I was actually
year.
I was just gonna bring that up,
My
because I was not I missed the beginning of that stream,
hmm
and so I went back after stream had ended, and I went back to the very beginning and I watched, and it was a great video. But yeah,
Thank
you did
you.
sit in your little window up there, just
I
the
did.
entire time,
I did.
and it
Ghosty helped
yep.
cover my face. I did have to look because I think a bot showed up in it. So then I'm like trying to
Yeah.
like get rid of the bot, hide behind Ghosty, because I I don't feel like I sound genuine when I say thank you to people.
Mhm.
Or I think I sound a baseline genuine to be like, thank you so much for coming out tonight. I really do appreciate it. I think it sounds genuine, but I think it doesn't convey enough emotion. So I wanted to do something that I would hope, even if it didn't sound perfectly genuine, could help capture some of that. And I could help say thank you to my community, let them know like what a wild ride it had been, and just have something that I would love to do that video every single year to be like, this is what I did in my first year. This is what I did in my second year. I already have crazy shit happening in my second year of streaming, and it's blowing my mind.
Absolutely. It's fantastic. Number one, congratulations on a year.
Thank you.
You the journey video was incredible. I wish I would have discovered you a year ago, because the journey that you have been on,
I was so scuffed.
the the
I
ups
still
and
am. I
downs,
still
like
am scuffed.
it's awesome. And it's that is that is something that I don't think a lot of people get a chance to really look back
Mm-hmm.
on, like all of their accomplishments and the things that they have
Yeah.
done. And definitely one of the big things that I really enjoy doing, on this show, and off the
Mm-hmm.
air, quote unquote, is normalizing, being proud of the people
Yeah.
that you care about and stuff. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, as a new person to your community. I'm proud to be a part of your community, but I'm also
Thank you.
proud of you and all of your work that you have put
Oh
into
no.
it and everything that you have done so far. It really is incredible. Don't you hide. Don't you
I'm
hide.
hiding. No. We talked about me in compliments.
I know,
You're gonna
which
say
is
it to
why I'm
Ghosty,
doing
not
it.
to me. Say it to my man.
Yeah, it's but no, you should be super proud of everything that you've done so far. It has been a lot of work, and you're doing amazing. And
Thank
so
you.
fantastic, wonderful, great job. And I know that everyone in your community is super grateful, and they're like, if there's one thing that I always want to remind people that come on the show, is that there is a reason that people show up to your stream. And it's not because it's like, wow, it's a Saturday and we're bored and we have nothing else to do. Like, there's a reason people show up to come hang out with you. And so, like, keep it up. You know, you're
Thank
doing
you.
amazing.
I had someone actually very nicely, like, and I won't say their name because I don't want to out them like that with being too sappy to me, because they were like, hey, you've been really sappy and open tonight. Here's something to say back to you. And he said to me that, you know, he wasn't big on watching streams, but when he came into mine and I greeted him, he was like, wow, someone who actually has paid attention to the fact that I've shown up to your stream and has actually taken an interest every time, especially in Dead by Daylight. When I get someone new, I ask, are you a killer main? Are you a survivor main? And who do you main? And I'll have a conversation about it. Do I remember that each time afterwards? No. There are many people who I could not tell you who their mains are, and I'll be honest about that. There's a lot of characters.
There's a lot of characters.
And I've had the conversation a lot of times with a lot of people, but in that moment, it is a genuine interest where I want to hear, like, hey, you've just come out. Tell me about your DVD. Or we had someone new last night in 7 days, and I was like, hey, do you play 7 days? Like, do you just enjoy creating chaos whenever you go into a 7-day stream because there's Switch integration? And he was like, yeah, I just enjoy 7-day streams. And I was like, well, welcome. Please continue to make us suffer. We were suffering so hard.
Yeah. That 7 days is a really fun game.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, that one, I got into 7 days back in like 2016 or 2015.
Nice.
And it was really cool. It was definitely one of those games that it's one of those survival games that tells you even less information than you would expect a basic game to tell you.
Yeah.
And so really trying to figure things out, like, takes some time.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you also, like, the amount of resources that you can get from doing things, like, it's a grind. It takes time. And then especially when you get to a point when you create, like, your nice little homestead.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I have to venture out. And then you're like, oh, I have to venture out somewhere that is super far away, but also, like, the one thing that always, like, got me in that game, and it always gave me, like, a weird anxiety. Anytime I came across, like, a store or, like, one of those, like, big supermarket things, and I'm like, this is, like, one of my weird big fears, is like being in a building that I don't have a bunch of escape routes to. So I'm just walking the aisles looking for stuff until you just hear that faint, you know, grumble, and you're like, yeah, and you're like, great, this is gonna be fun, like, fantastic. I'm not freaking out at all.
Oh my God. I did
find a I think it was like a repair shop or like one of those, like, car places or whatever, and I was, like, walking on the roof because I was trying to get across, and I didn't realize that there were, like, dogs and
on
like
the roof.
No. I was on the roof, but I'm saying, like, dogs were, like, in the yard, and I was like, oh, cool, like, I need to get down there because there's something I want, but I don't have, like, it was, like, in one of my early early gameplays, so, like, I'm not equipped with anything, and it was a struggle. Yeah, but I have never stopped loving that game. It is too fun.
I don't remember what year I started, but Nine, my mod and good friend, was like, hey, ma'am, you should get this game. And I was like, zombies? I love zombies because I am obsessed with zombies. I love zombie literature. I took a whole class in college on zombies.
What? Really?
Yeah, I took a class called Zombies in America.
I'm gonna derail here. What?
Yeah. Okay, so this class was basically talking about the history of zombies and how a lot of them come from voodoo and hoodoo and the reanimation practices. So we watched the movie White Zombie, and we basically got to hear how originally zombies were more like raised from the dead and possessed than they were just like raised from the dead.
Right.
And we saw this progression through that, and we had to read the first chapter of The Walking Dead and watch the first episode of The Walking Dead. We read World War Z, and it was so fascinating to learn about the complex history of the zombie.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually wrote a paper for that class about zombie children being used as a way to make you feel for the protagonist, and how much I hate that trope because I think it's stupid.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Uh, I don't. Hmm.
So, like, have you seen The Walking Dead?
I watched up until season. What
Mm-hmm.
there was a. I'll be very honest. I liked the show for a while,
Same.
and then it became a little repetitive.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of like a slow grind. But then
Mm-hmm.
there was a season. I'm not gonna beat around it because it
That's
feels
fair.
like it's been around for a while
Oh my
now. I'm not
god,
gonna
so
spoil
long.
anything, but there was a moment where there were two kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, I was like, man, that really sucks to be like a kid like trying
Yeah.
to survive in this world
Yeah.
and stuff. And then you like basically get to a point where like one of the kids is
Mm-hmm.
basically just a psychopath and has been like, you know,
Oh,
stringing
yeah.
up and dissecting like critters and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And then it becomes this whole like,
What do we
look at the
do?
pretty flowers, and it was
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'm done with the
Mm-hmm.
show. Like
Yeah.
I don't mess around. It's not my, yeah, don't mess with
I made it
kids, you
until
know.
Negan and then I got pissed, but
Yeah.
uh no, in the very first episode of The Walking Dead, Rick wakes up, Rick doesn't know what's going on, and I respect that. That's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
And he encounters this little zombie girl that he has to shoot. And
Oh shit, yeah, that's right.
the entire purpose of that scene is to make you sympathetic to Rick's plight. And I do understand The Walking Dead takes place in a
Mm-hmm.
universe where zombie literature doesn't exist. So I do actually understand in that sense how that is an emotional moment for someone who has never heard of a zombie before.
Right.
But we see it repeated in almost every single zombie literature where you have the
Hmm.
zombified child, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I live in a world surrounded by zombie media. If I am presented with a family, a friend, a small child who is infected, I'm shooting. Like,
Yeah.
it's lost its meaning over time. And I wrote a whole paper on this. It's lost its
Yeah.
meaning because we live in a world consumed by this. And The Walking Dead, as far as I know, is the only piece of zombie literature that exists that is created explicitly stating there's no zombie culture within the world. So I can
Right.
give them a pass, but they were like the straw that broke the camel's back as well.
Yeah. No, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a really good point.
Yeah.
That I especially when you talk about the progression of zombies and stuff. I was trying to
Mm-hmm.
look it up. There's a movie I watched years ago that is I don't remember if it was like Day of the Dead or some it was
Mm-hmm.
like 70s or 80s,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And it was a film where this guy, actually it might have been the what was that movie they made with Will Smith,
I
I Am
oh
Legend.
yeah.
So I think it was like something to do with like one of the original concepts of that, but it
Okay.
was like 70s or 80s or something.
Okay.
And this movie where the concept of zombies was very very new to like
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
And so these oh, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm going on such a
That's
weird
fine.
ADHD thing. I think it might have been called The Last Man on Earth, actually.
Oh, okay.
um
Okay.
but he's like, because the whole thing is that
Mm-hmm.
everyone in the world is basically a zombie now, and he's the last like conscious man.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the last
Oh.
man on Earth, and he's running around, but like the zombies, they don't run. They basically like take baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
So really being around them really isn't that big of a threat. But
Yeah.
also something that I realized was that in that movie, you keep zombies away with garlic, and all,
What?
yeah, I know. And also they can talk. So
Hmm.
they basically like they scratch at the door, and he's got like
Mm-hmm.
all the doors have like and windows have like garlic on them, so they won't like break through because for some reason.
We got
And then
confused about our
yeah,
lore.
yeah, and they'll be like scratching at the door, and they'll be like,
Yeah.
"Come on out, Dan," and he's like, "No." And they're like,
Oh.
"We're gonna get you," and I'm like, and I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sure." Like when the concept of zombies
Hmm.
first is like was established, that this was probably like a terrifying movie.
Oh,
But
yeah.
like you show this in 2024, and we're like, "What are we
Yeah.
talking about?" This is
Yeah.
nothing. But then you get like 28 days later,
Oh
or
my
you get like
god.
yeah, and it's like these big like zombie films now, or like
Hmm.
Walking Dead and stuff, where it becomes this like, oh, this is an actual threat, and this is like
Yeah.
there's a higher scare tactic, and it makes
Hmm.
me think. I went back, there was a movie that came out, I want to say maybe last year or
Hmm.
maybe early this year, called Voyage of the Last Voyage of the Demeter,
Okay.
which is it's a film that
Yeah.
was created from the seventh chapter of
Huh.
the original Dracula
Hmm.
book that was written in, I think, like 1860 or something like that.
I'm writing this
Um,
down.
yeah, the movie was fantastic. The
Yeah.
book, Dracula, the original book,
Hmm.
the original introduction to Dracula, to the world in which we live in, was not a horror movie or a horror book.
Yeah.
It was when it was first written, and it has
Oh.
such insanely high
Hmm.
remarks because of how terrifying it was.
Yeah.
But then I'm also thinking, like, well, yeah, like like you said earlier, like we're
Hmm.
so desaturated with
Yeah.
with horror and films and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure if you were to swap it and you were
Hmm.
to give, the original Dracula literature to a class today,
Oh yeah.
it would be nothing. But if you took a
Hmm.
horror film from today and brought it back to
Oh,
18, I'm pretty sure
it would
people would, their
destroy
minds
them.
would explode. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Well, it would be
heart attacks
like
immediately.
it would be like there have been studies. Oh gosh, I can't think of it off the top of my head. There was a it was a like live airing program about a haunting that scared so many people it got pulled from British television because
Wow.
too many people thought it was real. I don't remember all the details, but it was presented as being real.
Yeah.
They were able to like get it by, and it freaked out so many people that they actually had to like start pulling it because they were like, yo, that wasn't our intention. But
Yeah.
going back to zombies, I feel like I have to tell people about this comic all the time
Please do.
because it's so good. On Webtoon, there's a webtoon called Dead Days that's a subversion of the zombie genre, and I highly recommend it. I There's not much more I can say. It starts out like your average zombie comic, like TV show, movie. Like it starts out the same. Zombies come,
Yep.
zombies try to kill. You gotta shoot the zombies or get away from them or otherwise incapacitate them. But the way it evolves and what the eventual ending comes to be is really cool because it's something completely unexpected. It's something that I didn't see coming and was fascinating. And I kind of want to go reread it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I was I just wrote that down because I'm definitely checking
Yeah.
that out. But it did bring to mind, it was on Netflix for a little while, and
Mm-hmm.
it did not get the love that I think that they wanted, so they canceled it and it didn't get a next season. But I really wanted to watch it. It was called Daybreak or
Oh,
Daybreakers or something.
I
Um,
heard. I heard about that.
yeah, it was a very cool, like, I really liked it. Basically, like,
I'm writing that down.
the world goes to shit, zombies happen, the standard. But instead it affects like everyone over a certain age.
Oh.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, buddy, you got to get out of here. You're not gonna get. The cat is trying to get you. Want camera time? Come on over here.
Yeah.
Um, and but it's like, what if the world, all of like adults, like anyone
Mm-hmm.
over the age of like 25,
Yeah.
becomes like a zombie kind of thing. So the rest of us, um, or the kids, the younger,
Yeah.
the youth,
Ah, the youths.
They
I think I might be in that zombified age, though. That's the problem.
that's why I said, the rest of us, and I was like, no, I'm definitely a zombie. It's
Damn
but
it.
they're basically all trying to fight to survive, but
Yeah.
they're also, it's like high school, so they're all
Mm-hmm.
still in like cliques. So you have like the
Ah,
cheerleader squad who are
High
running
School
around
of the
doing their,
Dead.
yeah, exactly. And so you have like
My
the
guilty
super
pleasure.
nerds who are just like
Mm-hmm.
geeking out because they're like zombies, like.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
me.
was it was really, really cool. I thought it was a really well done show, and
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. But it just, I guess it didn't get the love it wanted,
Yeah.
and so they canceled it, which I was really bummed because I was
Mm-hmm.
really looking forward to it.
It really does makes me think of High School of the Dead. But High School of the Dead, it look, let me say, I'm gonna say it. It's not really that good,
Say
but
it.
it's such a guilty pleasure to watch because it's so funny. And that
Mm-hmm.
scene with the girl, because they're very bodacious girls, shooting the gun, and the gun goes between like her chest as it goes like this. It's the funniest. Oh my god! If you've never seen that scene,
I
it
have
is
not.
iconic.
All
Oh, I'll find it after this. I'll send it to you.
right.
Someone calculated the velocity that her chest had to be moving for that
Yeah.
bullet to be able to, because they're like this and then they're like this as the bullet's passing through. And the velocity that she had to be moving at, it's like some obscene number.
Some
It's
superhuman stuff.
like, and don't get me wrong, I mean, I wanted to love this show so much. It's got
Yeah.
a fun first season. I own the first few volumes of the manga. It loses its appeal eventually because it's
Right.
bodacious anime girls and a nurse that looks like she shouldn't be able to stand upright. And then the one Chad of a dude and the
Yeah.
super nerdy dude. Like it's hitting every single cliche of like both anime and zombie literature, and I'm just like, this is trash and I love it.
this, this is terrible, and this is the best thing I've ever seen
Yes.
ever.
Yes. It is. Oh
I
my
love it.
god. And I remember when it was popular because you would see people cosplaying it all the time. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even care. I don't even care that, like, as a woman, I should be like, why are we being boiled down to it? Because also the girls are kicking ass. Like, the guy's
Good.
fine. The one girl has a whole ass katana and she's just like slicing and dicing. The other girl is like usually pretty good, but every so often they need that man's help.
I don't need a man. Get out
No,
of here.
no. All of them were more capable than him, but
100%.
it's a funny show. It's like a guilty pleasure show that I watched when I was in like college.
Love it. I definitely have to check this out.
Oh my god, it's so fun. I'll send you the scene. It's so funny, in my opinion. In my little like cringe anime nerd opinion.
Hey, I'm all for it. I love it. I'm all for it. As we get to the end of our time, unfortunately, I really feel like an hour has just kind of flown by, and
Right?
I haven't even touched on most of the subjects. So we're already. I'm gonna have to do another one with you. It's gonna
I'll
be
stay
so fun.
focused, I promise.
Not a chance that I will. Okay, so I do want to leave us off with one last question here.
Yeah.
If because I've really been enjoying the answers that I've been getting here, so I think it's going to be kind of a new staple to the show.
Yeah.
But if you were to go back in time and you were to talk to your younger self, what like inspiration would you give to your younger self, and what type of advice would you give those who want to start making content but are maybe they're not there yet, maybe they're a little too shy or something? Where would those two questions fall?
All right. If I could give my younger self some advice, I think keep my same energy that I had when I was in high school. I did not give two shits what people thought of me. I was living my best life.
Hell yeah.
And I wish I had carried that on more into adulthood, and I'm only just getting that back years later. So I think I would just remind myself to keep that energy and be unapologetically myself, because who cares if not everyone likes you, if you need to like you. And also, just I would tell myself that when I have aspirations for things, just do them. Don't wait for a sign, don't wait for a moment. And I've gotten a lot better at this, and I've given people advice about this to just be like, why wait? Just balls to the wall, go for it. There's no right or wrong time to start streaming. When I started streaming, I didn't have a desk. I didn't have this room set up. I put my computer on the floor by the foot of my bed. I was sitting on the floor in front of my door on a cushion, and that's how I streamed. Like, I didn't wait until I had the desk. I didn't wait until those cabinets were painstakingly painted pink and white. I didn't even wait. I got the room together in a weekend, but like I didn't have the where my wigs are, that was blue, and I got the pink one newer, and I didn't wait for it all to be perfect. I just was like, fuck it, we ball.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the best decisions I ever made, was to not wait and just be like, we're going. I think the only thing I waited for was I wanted it to be after the convention I was going to. Because I didn't want to go to a convention, because I would have only started 1 or 2 days before the convention. So I didn't want to go to the convention and lose momentum. I wanted to start right after the convention, and that's the only thing I waited for.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then what was part 2?
What advice would you give, those who are looking to start but maybe aren't quite there yet?
Wait, come here. Bro, come here. Oh, you're so rude. I was going to put my cat on camera, but she sat down.
Mine jumped on the chair next to me and is just like staring at me like I'm going to sit here the whole time. Just
honestly, same advice. Fuck it, we ball.
Yeah. I love it.
Don't wait.
Just do it.
Yeah. I actually just wrote a post today on Threads because I logged into Threads this morning as I was having my coffee, and I saw a lot of people giving a lot of advice, and I was like, oh, wait, she's here. Come here. You want to be on a podcast? No. Come here. You're going to be famous.
Come here, kitty.
You are going to be famous. You are the cute one.
There you are.
This is Nadia. She's camera shy. Come here. Show them all how angry you always look. Okay.
Just absolutely refusing to look. There you are. Oh, you look so angry.
Hey. I know.
So
you
cute.
are an angry girl. She's not. She's like the sweetest cat ever.
Yeah.
She looks so angry.
Very sweet cat.
No, of the advice I would give people who are just starting, there's really a couple things that I've noticed in the advice I've seen other people posting, and things that I also just recommend through my own experiences. I didn't mean to offend you. Damn. Chill, cat. She is offended. I think the first thing is, again, fuck it, we ball. Like, just do it. There's no sense waiting, just do it. Sound quality is really important. Sound quality is probably one of the most important things, and balancing your sound quality is huge. Anytime I record a video, I always do anywhere between 2 to 5 sound tests just to try and balance my audio so that I can be heard over the game and you're still able to hear even if the music is really quiet. So that's one thing. Just whatever platform you have prior to pressing the go live button, advertise, promote yourself, tell your community. I had so many people follow me to my streaming journey because I knew them from my Instagram journey, because that's where I originally grew. I say grew a following. That's where I was originally most active. So, and then let me.
So was this the advice that you saw on Threads?
No, this is the advice. I literally wrote it up this morning. I'm actually, let me pull it up for a second. So another thing that I talked about earlier, ask a friend to sit in on those first live streams so you have someone in chat watching you and you can get used to talking into a camera, because when I'm not getting any audio feedback from a second person, it's weird. It's weird to just go, and that's not a natural feeling. And having a friend in chat to interact with you helps so much Then what else?
Yeah, we had Vikings sit in our
Yeah.
very first stream, and it was very nice
Hmm.
because I was practicing talking to myself, but it was
Yeah.
nice to be able to like kind of direct it towards
Yeah.
Vikings so that it was a lot easier to kind of like
Hmm.
understand. Now I start my streams and there's maybe 5-10
Yeah.
minutes maybe before like anybody really like pops up, like, and I mean like besides like my regulars,
Hmm.
so there is a lot of times where I just jump in, I just start
Yeah.
talking about what happened today or a crazy
Hmm.
thing that happened that day, or my
Yeah.
my my work week or something, and that usually like buys me enough time to kind of ramble about
Hmm.
myself and to go on just talking to myself
Yeah.
before people start popping in and chatting, and then like I kind of feed off of that and then I go
Hmm.
into interacting off everybody else.
I cannot tell you how many times I have started my streams with probably only lurkers, which shout out to lurkers, you are the backbone of
Yeah,
fucking Twitch.
make this world
And
go round.
yes, actually, I have a whole policy about lurkers. I do not sit on my own mod view. I do not look at who is lurking. If you choose to use my lurk command and let me know you're lurking, I will give you a thank you. I will give you like a little shout out. But if
Oh,
you
that's a
choose
good
to
idea.
silently lurk, I don't know about it. Like, I don't, and I want to respect that and respect the fact that you want to quietly lurk. And I try not to spy on it to be like,
Yeah,
wow, this person lurked my stream, but this person doesn't lurk my streams, because it doesn't matter. Like, I
I don't even know
appreciate
how to
you
do
when you
that.
lurk. I appreciate you when you choose to be active. And I appreciate that you have a life of your own.
Yeah, that is one thing that I think probably works in my benefit, is that
Yeah.
I don't know how to go about all that. Every so often I'll look at like the analytics,
Yeah.
just kind of be like, maybe I had like a really good fun stream
I
and I
do
was
look
like,
at my
oh, I want to see,
analytics.
yeah, I was like, I just want to see how tonight went.
Yeah.
Or like I'll have ones where I'll be like, oh, that one was rough.
Hmm.
Like maybe I was a little tired, like maybe I didn't eat properly that day, so like I was a bit
Yeah.
hungry or something, and so by the end of the stream, I'll look at the analytics and
Hmm.
I'll be like, oh, maybe that was a lot better than I thought it was, or
Yeah.
like, oh, whatever. But the one thing that does get to me is that when I'll look at it and it'll say like, oh, you had like 8 or 10 or 12
Hmm.
like total like or
Hmm.
consistent chatter kind of
Yeah.
things, whatever. But then it'll be like, oh, you've had like 68 views, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, where? I didn't even know that. When did
Yeah.
that happen?
That's just the
But
people popping in.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
so now I have this timer thing on Stream Elements, because
Hmm.
one of my biggest things is, even though like I'm the host of the show and I have like the
Hmm.
stream and stuff, weirdly enough I sometimes forget about talking about the things that I do. I'll talk
Yeah.
about myself for days, but like
Yeah.
I forget to mention those, so I have a timer on Stream Elements that'll pop up and give a message,
Hmm.
and then I'll read that message in like a goofy voice, and I'll
Yeah.
pretend like it's not me saying it, it's Stream
Hmm.
Elements jumping in on the chat and reminding everyone that, hey, if you're lurking, please do, love it,
Hmm.
enjoy it, and if you like me, please continue to like me. But if we
Yeah.
get to a point where you want to get that live notification, don't forget to drop a follow, kind of thing.
Hmm.
And it's like, it's always just like a fun little goofy way that I can kind of remind myself to be like, hey, lurking's guilt,
Hmm.
cool, but like, if you want to get the live notification, don't forget to drop a follow, because there are times where I've lurked on
Oh
some,
yeah.
like I've come across people randomly.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, this was awesome, and then the stream ends and I'll have forgotten to like follow, so like
Yeah.
I don't remember the name, obviously it's
Hmm.
not recorded, I have no
Yeah.
way of finding this person
Yeah.
again, and I just have to hope on a complete whim that one
Hmm.
day I'll accidentally come across the
Yeah.
one person out of 4,000
Hmm.
streamers.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I should probably do like a timed lurk command that just like thanks the lurkers,
Mm-hmm.
because I do. The only time, because last night I had to go in my mod view a couple times because I had a couple bots, and I'm playing with both my mods. And like I said, my third mod, he pops in and out and he has his own busy life. And I have always said, like, this, I can't pay you. So
Right.
if I could pay you, I could be like, hey, please make it a priority to show up.
Right.
I can't pay anyone. So
Samesies.
I make sure that they know they are never obligated. And I'm playing with my other two mods, so I had to go ban bots myself. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm sorry, lurkers. I don't sit on mod view. I don't try to look at who's here. I'm just trying to ban this bot. And then I'm going back to my regular view.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Um, may I just say, this was an absolute pleasure
it's
to
been so
have you on the
fun.
episode today. It has been
Yay.
an absolute delight, getting to know you through, this episode and, previously. You're truly a wonderful person. I love your content. I love everything you're doing. At the end of the show, I always love to keep the floor completely open for you to plug anything and everything that you want to. And that's literally anything from projects that you have going on to a fantastic sandwich you had last week. Like anything that you want to, give a shout out to, or any projects you're working on, shout that out now. And then at the very end of the episode, I'll have you send me the links. And
Yeah,
then I always put all of those links at the bottom of the description, or at the bottom of the description of every episode, so that anyone listening or viewing this can check those out from there.
awesome. All right. Well, guys, if you want to see more of me, it feels weird to do it not on my stream.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah.
No, but for real, first of all, I do want to say thank you. Thank you for giving me this space and chatting with me. Thank you for doing our long ass vibe check that we did last weekend?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
gave it
last
an
weekend.
hour and it was like 3.5.
Yeah,
So yeah,
we really got carried away. Whoopsie.
vibe checked.
So first of all, thank you. I've genuinely enjoyed this. This has been very fun. What you drinking over there?
Celsius.
Oh,
Hey, Celsius,
yeah.
if you're paying attention, sponsors, what's up?
Second of all, seriously though, if you want to see more of me, I go live every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. EST. Pretty much every Sunday I play Dead by Daylight. Pretty much every Friday I play 7 Days to Die. Both of those are open to the community. And Wednesday is kind of my cozy variety night. We're mixing it up this Sunday. I'm finishing up Into the Pit because my community said, you are cringe, but you are free. FNAF isn't dead. Let's eat.
Hell yeah.
I got to bring back my Chica cosplay, and that was very exciting. As for places you can find me, I'm very active on Threads. My Threads is Memento Cosplay. And then I have obviously my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Cosplayletsplayy with 2 Ys. And my YouTube is the same, Cosplay Let's Play. I do game reviews, first looks, and playthroughs, kind of just whatever I feel. And I would love to do my first video essay, but I really picked a big topic and it's going to be like 3 hours long and I'm not emotionally ready for it, but I've scripted it. And
That's
then
awesome.
as for exciting things coming up, I do have a Discord. That's exciting as a whole. I love my Discord. I love playing with my Discord. I have 2 very exciting things coming up. I have my first sponsored stream on Wednesday,
Hey,
which is
all right.
crazy. My bid got accepted and
Fantastic. Congratulations.
thank you. And I have I'm going to call it a subathon. It might not be, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be like some people do bidathons. It's going to be a big ass stream. And I like the title subathon on November 1st. And that's going to be for my affiliate anniversary.
Oh, that is going to be amazing. Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
That is so awesome. I'm triple, quadruple underlining this because I forgot to bring this up during the episode and it was like a big thing I wanted to talk about, but your indie game reviews.
Yes.
So we definitely now it's solidified. We need to have another episode because that is a big topic I want to talk about.
Yeah, I would love to talk more.
Because I've been seeing your, you post on Thread a lot with those. You post amazing questions on Threads.
Thank you.
I've been very new to Threads, and so far I'm loving it. The community of Threads is fantastic. It's actually where I've met a lot of the guests that we've had on the basically from here on out. It's been an amazing platform to find amazing people, amazing content creators. So
yeah.
I guess thank you so much for doing this, for
Thank
being here
you.
on the show. I really, really, truly do appreciate it. Um, if you want to find moi, I am on Instagram at Phoenix Stewart, but you can also find the show on Instagram and TikTok at Who What Now Pod. On TikTok, we have clips of shows that are already out, clips of shows that are coming out, that week. And just goofy things that I think are, funny. Most of the time it's not, but I think I'm funny, and that's what matters. You can check us out also on our streams, streaming every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday morning at Twitch TV / Phoenix Stewart. All of our, normal links and such will also be at the bottom of the description under this episode. But just one last thing. Thank you so much. You're incredible. I love your content. I love everything you're doing. Keep it up. Seriously. And I cannot wait to see what this next year brings for you.
Thank you.
And I'm even more excited that I'm finally now in the community, that I can watch it live happening. I got to watch how this past year went, and now I get to actually be here for this next year. So I'm very excited for it. It's going to be amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Content's amazing. And anyone listening and anyone watching, you're all amazing. So as always, please go outside, look up at the sky, feel the sun on your face, hug a tree, and high five a squirrel. And as always, we will catch you on the next one.